What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, let's jump into another answering your comments video. Again, just want to say sincerely thank you for all of you who leave comments. I do my best to try to keep up with them, and we are now still 7 days behind, but that's because I took maybe a day or two off earlier this week, so there's not too many videos, but you guys still leave the comments, and I love it. So let's go ahead and jump in. Level Up Life is up first. This was on my video about land creating a consumable card. Level of Life saying, when Land 1.5 launched, I went hard and activated all my land. 1 month later, I quit playing completely. Fast forward, the grain farm launched and I organically started playing again. The grain LP was a game changer for me. Land now has a clear and calculable yield. And hopefully that will go up over time as other resources and utility for those resources starts to get implemented. So awesome to see you back in the mix, Level Up Life. All right, so Asmon says, since you're late at response, even though only 4 days there have been rapid changes, the salt against Matt was made by people that were just spewing stuff before the proposal even explained what it is. So probably some of those now better understand and don't think as they thought. Hopefully that is the case. I think Matt's done a good job trying to explain through why he believes the permit is a good thing. All right, so IDI Wow says, a team member sucking in the game? OMG. Did you mean to say something else, or are you just talking about a team member sucking? That should be punished, but instead defended that there was nothing wrong. That's inside job, my friend. Worse is that they returned most of the rewards because they were caught. Imagine if they were not caught up until now. Will the ever stop? Instead, that those team members suggest or think of a solution. They made actions to take advantage of it, and nothing wrong about it. Look, I've addressed this several times before, so you maybe have not watched any of those videos because you're commenting on the 5 biggest takeaways. But if you do, check this one out. My quick and dirty is, yeah, I mean, I agree with Matt. I don't think it's a great situation, but everybody else had the opportunity to do it. And I don't know that the team member involved was necessarily responsible for designing how this went down, right? So Matt took responsibility that he did not design it well, made the percentages too high, right? 10x too high from what they are now. And, like everybody else had the opportunity, the team member had the opportunity like everybody else to go in and get it. And they did. So I'm not saying it's a good situation, but I don't think a punishment is warranted. And this whole idea of they returned most of the rewards because they were caught, I don't think that that's an issue either. The rewards were returned before they were caught, before this was even brought up, before Tails did that great video kind of looking into it. And, Matt mentioned on the town hall that it was a team member. That to me seems like a team member talking internally, and sure, maybe I'm sugarcoating it or giving the benefit of the doubt, but I would prefer to do that than thinking something insidious happened, because you can go down a lot of other roads if you imagine something insidious happened. So if the team member was talking with the team and Matt was like, damn, I messed up, I think it was probably good on the team member's part to be like, all right, well, let me just return whatever's here, because we don't want that to be how this game is represented. So that being said, I don't know what else there is to say on it, but I get the frustration. DJ Khaled, thank you. International Travel Channel. I'm going to remember that now. All right, so Pomp says, earnings should be based on CP. A player's CP is proportional to total CP outstanding. If X stays constant and X and Y increases, a player that doesn't add more CP naturally will have less earning potential. I mean, we're talking like, doesn't this take away from SPS then? Isn't SPS supposed to serve that purpose? Not mechanically the same, but I don't know, man. CP just doesn't seem... I don't know what to do with CP. New card sets shouldn't have decreasing burn value. They should have increasing burn value. A new set with higher burn value will mitigate the risk of getting junk in a pack and theoretically increase sales. That's an interesting concept. I don't know. Let me sit with it for a little bit, Pomp. All right, so another one from Pomp here says, another concept is two-step battle. First, enter battle, see opponent's lineup, decide to change lineup or not. Theoretically, a bot will not change lineup because it's already selected the best team. A human can then select the counter lineup to the bot's lineup. That is interesting. Ooh, I like that. That would be cool as like almost like another game mode, right? So it's like you go in, you choose your team, and then you see what your opponent is lined up as, and then you both get to reselect your team based on what you saw your opponent do. And like you said, I mean, it'd be great for bots because bots are going to choose the best team statistically, but then you could go in and try to counter it. But if you don't know if you're playing a bot or not. So it's like, what do I do? It's like a weird game of like poker and chicken at the same time. It's like, what is my opponent going to do? And are they going to try to counter me? Am I trying to counter them? What, like, it just turns into a whole other mess, which could actually be kind of fun. Okay. Ghostly BG says, LOL at all the people thinking that Aggie would have done a better job than Matt in the last few months. I guess they've forgotten the game was in a state it was precisely because of Aggie spending money on a bunch of unsuccessful side projects. And then you got a lot of people kind of chiming in here. So, yeah, I mean, Ghostly BG, it's, when things aren't going right, everything else seems like grass is greener on the other side. So I get it. Scott Thompson says, sorry, but a member of the development team running a large bot farm isn't a thing. It sounds like something that needs to be explained, that needs some explaining to me. Again, this is not new news for folks. See, a lot of people are commenting on the 5 biggest takeaways. Those videos get the most views for me. So I feel like a lot of people are never going to see their comments being responded to here. So I don't want to like spend too much time on this because I'm probably just preaching to the choir at this point. Or at least you guys have heard this a million times. Maybe preaching to the choir is not the right word. But yeah, man. I mean, look, everybody's allowed to run a bot farm. It doesn't matter. The team is trying to create this decentralized game, and I genuinely think they're headed in the right direction. There's been a lot of really, really bad hiccups. I don't think that this is one, but I can understand if people are upset. Jackie, what's up? Thank you so much. Happy Memorial Day to you as well. Wow, that week went fast. All right, so user says, thanks for your videos, entertaining me while I'm doing my daily chores, playing in Wild, sorry. For 3 years, I've been watching almost every single town hall, and now since I'm not really interested anymore, you're my way to catch up. Cheers. Currently 15-2. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you're still around. I've been around for almost 3 years as well. So it's definitely been a ride. Let's hope that it gets way better. Rating Clash says, great explanation of liquidity pools. Now I have a much better grasp of impermanent loss. Keeping on dropping knowledge. Love your podcast. Oh, well, thank you, Rating Clash. That makes me really happy. I appreciate the feedback because I know I went deep on that, and I was like, I don't even know if this is helpful to anybody anymore, but I'm glad to know that it was. Timless Pink says, I disagree with you on the point that cards shouldn't be seen as an investment. I think they should make cards way more scarce by burning them or even losing them against someone in the game, when I have a whole separate theory about how that would work. Okay. In my opinion, this game has to try to keep card prices value by giving older cards even more utility. I doubt the whole ecosystem can function well without this. You know what? You should connect with Christopher Charles because he feels the same exact way. Also, Rooney should be on our start page, and we should have the possibility to spend our glint on it to give it some unique soulbound features like custom back. Oh, I would love a custom background with glint on the battlefield enabled by level up. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, I would love so much more with Rooney, but I just don't think we're gonna get that. At least not this year. So again, I'm really not disagreeing with you guys that are talking about keeping card values up. And I know I just put out a video saying that my expectation is card values go down over time, but that's not my preference, right? That's not what I'm cheering for. It's just how I approach making financial or entertainment or hobby or game decisions. So again, like I think SPS should be the primary focus if you want to get this ecosystem jump started, but that doesn't mean that cards don't deserve a place there. Aquarius says the game is there. They need marketing bad. I agree. I mean, see, that's the thing. Look at how many of us. Okay, so let me just go off on a little bit of a tangent here. There's a lot of folks who actually really enjoy playing this game. Right? For what it is, it's a good time. It's quick, easy hits. We participate, we play, we chat meta, we chat strategy, we chat game economy. This game obviously isn't for everyone. We're not going to get Fortnite numbers. We're probably not even going to get Magic the Gathering numbers. But I have to believe in a world of 8 billion people, there is a subset of people that would appreciate what we appreciate because the proof is there. the game is solid, right, for what it is. And there's the community's here, which means that if we find other like-minded people, there's got to be more than 500. There's got to be more than 5,000 players out there that would potentially want to get in on this. Again, in a world of 8 billion people, I think the number is significantly larger than 5,000. So marketing needs to be done in order to find those people and bring them in. So Derek says, is something wrong with Hive Engine? Mine won't load any assets at all. Yeah, Hive Engine just sucks. I've stopped using Hive Engine. I mean, I still have to use Hive Engine, but I've stopped using Tribal Decks because it's just awful. Sometimes there's something weird with the node. You can try changing the node, but I'm honestly not very knowledgeable about that. I usually just give it like an hour and come back. Paul says, what if this Scarecrow required research points to purchase it? Matt had mentioned he was looking for research points. Oh, that would be awesome. And if you make research points burnable, which I think would be a good thing. I know it's like collect as much research points as possible for XYZ is what maybe that he was trying to go for, but make it so, well, I don't know, maybe you need to have like a certain threshold of research points in order to produce it, but then like everybody eventually gets there. You know what I mean? Whereas if you have research points burnable, then that would be a cool option too. So yeah, I don't know. Great idea though. I would love to get research points involved. Cause that's just another like thing that's accumulating there that nobody has any idea what it's going to be, but it gets devalued by the minute because there's no utility. All right, so Jason says we should rename this game Botlands. It's all that's been talked about since the game started. I'm also fine with Extractolands as well. Somebody make a skin of this game and call it Extractolands. I really like that. I mean, you know what? That would be fantastic for marketing too. I mean, how many people are going to go and look at a game and be like, Extractolands? That's exactly what I want to do. Logan Gaming says, meanwhile, team members are running bots and extracting rewards and SPS in massive scale per Tails video. Yeah, that was a great video by Tails. Sorry, Smart. First like. Thank you. All right, Christopher Charles, let's do it. There's a lot here. This is for the wild season permit. Okay, so if it were 100% DC being burned with 15,000 accounts, that's 720 million. 15,000 accounts, 720 million DEC per year that's burned. It's nothing to sneeze at, but it's not going to get us through the overhang for a long time. Yeah, I agree. It would take about 6 months. Of course, it's cheaper with vouchers though, so we won't get close to that with 15K accounts. It's exciting to think about the fact that Splinterlands takes off again, or if Splinterlands takes off again, we could have an explosion of accounts paying in this $2 worth of value. But this is where the whole flywheel thing hurts us because that $2 becomes less impactful the higher SPS moves up. I mean, 100,000 players paying $2 when SPS is at 20 cents is exactly the same as 200,000 players paying at $2 when SPS is at 40 cents. Is exactly the same as 1 million accounts. Okay. And once the cycle ends, it doesn't matter which of those we hit because they all would have burned the same amount of SPS. I think about this stuff every time Matt gets into saying he sees 2021 happening again. We had systems that paid out exponentially then. Today, we have limiters on everything. P.S. If you're trying to figure out where the new DEC is coming from, it's burning cards. We've probably been burning about 1 million BCX of mixed rarity per month for 2 to 3 months now. Last week, we finally got over 10% of all non-soulbound reward cards ever released being burned. That doesn't include CL core cards and even Untamed now getting taken out. So lots of legendary epic cards too. But Matt said you got to burn through all these cards before you can get to the flywheel. Interesting. Okay, so I didn't realize that was as big. I knew people were potentially burning cards, but I didn't realize it was actually that big. But it makes sense if you want to get DEC for land or something. Okay, so to your point here, yes, I don't think we're ever going to get something where we get exponential rewards like in 2021. That was an exploit that the team just did not close, right? But maybe because they were sticking to the white paper or whatever the case is, they didn't have the DAO set up. They just didn't close that whole DEC thing. I mean, they should have really changed the DEC algorithm if they weren't going to change the white paper. But I mean, at that point, yeah, it was just kind of crazy. Now, to your point here about the flywheel hurting us, that's true for everything though, right? So at this point, let's say SPS is at a penny, right? It costs you 4,000 SPS to buy a pack of Rebellion cards, right? Yeah. No, sorry, 400 SPS to buy a pack of Rebellion cards, right? It gets you roughly $4. if SPS does multiples of that, 10 cents, 40 cents, whatever it is, all of a sudden we're spending and burning less SPS. But that is the design over time of SPS. So I don't see something necessarily wrong with that. The idea is if we are able to get 100,000 people into the game, well, then that's where the card values start to rise and people get really excited. And you can have that kind of exponential positive feedback loop there, Christopher Charles. And I know you're big on card values going up. So yes, maybe the flywheel slows down a little bit, but then those card values start going up. People get excited. That brings more people in, more people buying SPS because they want to play, right? So it's not about the burning of SPS for that. It's about, to me, the flywheel comes in when you have 100,000 people that want to hold and stake 100,000 SPS apiece, right? I don't know what the math is. What on that? Is that a billion? Or whatever it is, right? Whatever the math is, if we can get 100,000 people trying to stake 100,000 SPS, I think we'll be in good shape, because that means that SPS is sticking around for the long term as people try to earn. It's staked for at least 4 weeks, and it takes it off the marketplace, and people get pumped. All right, so Cyrus Smurf says, the only problem with Matt's proposal idea is it's not starting right away. I mean, why wait other 10 plus more days for it to be implemented? If it's done already, then just implement it now. I really hope that we get it in the next season. I think we have to wait until the proposal is done. Matt wanted to get the feedback, but if they can get it in before the next season, for the next season, that'd be fantastic. Wolfshire says, it'll be effective at killing the game. There will be no sense of progression without massive investment. Not worth it. Before, you could hope to play for years with a small investment and build it over time. All the anti-bot stuff killed the game. Game is dead. Lots of people, or at least 7 people, agreeing with you here. Again, I don't think so. That massive investment was required no matter what. The only thing that this is asking you to do now is, if you want to play in Wild, right? So you have these cards forever, you're able to earn forever, you will have to pay $2 a pop, right? $2 a season, $50 a year, roughly, right? Is the math on that right? Yeah. So $48 a year to be exact, right? And that dollar value could actually come down if DEC is well below peg or vouchers are well below the soft peg. So the question then becomes, are you making more than $48 per year on this game? And if you're not, then you don't play. But does it kill the game for the people making more than $48 a year? I don't think so. And if anything, it gives them more conviction, because as those players who don't make $48 a year start to drop off, the rewards get higher from a token perspective, right? Token count perspective. And if SPS goes up, then obviously even better. All right, so iHorror says, how about charge the botted accounts, not the human ones in Wild? They want me to pay $11,000 to play in Wild. No, it's not 11, it's $2,000. Then make less SPS than pay to play and take away my earnings. Come on, you have to be kidding. If I make $4 in SPS each season in Wild, now you want to take half or more. Why would I continue to play unless I want to have huge season losses? Way to literally take all the value. The point is to buy cards to earn SPS, but if you take away that SPS, what is the point in playing? So this is where the value of holding SPS really comes in, because again, as I said earlier, if you hold enough SPS, and you increase that over time, right? Because you're earning, you're staking, whatever, you'll get paid out in vouchers, and it doesn't matter, whatever the voucher prices go to. Actually, if voucher prices go up higher than 5 cents, then you'll be set. Like at this point in time, I think I make more than enough vouchers needed from the SPS that I have staked. Granted, I have a decent amount staked, right? But I don't know. Like that to me is where the opportunity is. So I get the frustration, but I think the whole idea of vouchers being this access to something will finally come into play with this Wild Season permit, or at least I'm hoping so. Snowball says another one. I got another DJ Khaled in the comments. Let's go. Thank you, Snowballs. So Manfred Ham says, the low brains who are constantly pushing the bot debate have lost track in reality. It does nothing but harm anyone. Yeah, I wish we could stop talking about bots, but I just respond to comments here. So International Travel Channel, thank you so much. DJ Clue. All right, so Dom says, I hope they make a Peps McGregor promo card with the next set. Again, I have no idea who Peps McGregor is. I know who Conor McGregor is, but I don't know who Peps is. Joffrey says, when you say bots, you should just say the team. All right, the team's bots. Sherwin says, it's not a surprise that some people actually do convert SPS to DEC in Splinterlands website because they don't check out third-party websites. Most likely people who started out with credits and are not very familiar with Hive Engine. Yeah, you know what? Well, again, I appreciate their sacrifice, but we should really be trying to educate them on a better way to do it. So Eronia says, if it does not make logical sense, then maybe it makes emotional sense. Yeah, maybe. Sudion says, I know Aggie's been known to burn millions of SPS. Maybe he's still doing it, but that's the best thing I like about Aggie and Matt. They're not greedy. Other developers would try to nickel and dime their player base every chance they have. This is an underrated comment here. It seems like you got 5 likes on it. I agree with this. And I know there's a lot of times that people talk about, rug pull, or the company's just trying to milk the customer base and blah, blah, blah. And sure, in certain scenarios, I can understand, not agree, but I can understand the sentiment, right? Especially with all of the failed deliveries that happened. But in terms of like how they operate within each of the ecosystems, I do think Aggie and Matt have been quite generous in many ways in terms of how they, a lot of this stuff goes back, like the company, and this is the company shooting itself in the foot for our benefit, right? Think about the Validator sale. Think about the Rift Watcher sale last year. Think about all the stuff that went into making all of that, and the team didn't make a dime, right? They didn't make a dime from it. It just all either got burned or sent to the DAO or whatever. So now, yeah, of course, it's kind of no surprise that the team is in a place where they're struggling financially because they need to find a way to be sustainable without just making stuff that just gets burned for the ecosystem, right? And is supposed to help the ecosystem. But yeah, underrated comment here. All right, so extremely long paragraph goes here. Hope we see you in the Rise of the Champions tournament. Yeah, I don't even know what place I was. I think 160 something. It was not. 160 something. I didn't get anything, but hope you did well. DJ Khaled, thanks International Travel Channel and Snowballs. You guys are great. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna have to close out this video soon. How much time are we in? About 22 minutes already. Okay, so let's. Man, we only made it one day. You guys are leaving a ton of comments, which I love, but I'll have to come back tomorrow and do more. So let's close out with this one here from Bruce. Salt is real. You all being kids on YouTube commentary section. Little reminder, you took the decision to invest in the game, and no one else did this for you, so stop crying as you do since months. The game is good. I'm enjoying it for 4 years now and still connect every day. The change are going in a good direction with Matt on the lead. The only problem is the salty community. Think about the feedback you give to new players looking at those videos, or new potential players looking at those videos. And then Andy K says, I agree with you 100%. Also enjoying the game. Sharp Vid Tube says, or people being honest. I enjoyed the game years ago, but the amount of cards ruined it for me. All these tokens too. It was far more fun with Steam and Hive. I didn't invest in it, only played. So zero salt, just my honest opinion. Yeah, look, so Bruce, I appreciate what you're trying to say. And I agree actually to a certain extent, right? Like, I want people to feel the ability to, like, the freedom, I should say, to be honest. And if salt is honest and authentic, then, so be it. But I know that it's definitely going to have some impact on potential players checking out the game, right? And I know that because the same things happen to me whenever I go check out other games. It's like if I go into a comment section or something and people are complaining, I'm like, yeah, okay, never mind. So, it's good feedback to remind folks, but at the same time, everybody's entitled to have their own opinion. And I definitely don't want to be like censoring people or telling them what they can or can't comment on. Not that you're saying that. I get where you're coming from. But yeah, at the end of the day, like, I hate to be one of those guys. I'm not going to tell you like, oh, you're fighting your bags, blah, blah, blah. It's like, nah, the game undeniably and the decisions made by the team have led to a lot of frustration, right? As much as I love the team and I actually believe in where they're trying to go with this, I definitely understand a lot of the frustration that people feel too, right, on the other side. And so, letting that frustration out is normal, natural, healthy, maybe. But at the same time, yeah, I think it's an important reminder to be like, okay, like, how bad is it? How bad is it? And are we like scaring people off that could potentially be interested? So just a good reminder. Again, say what you want as long as you keep it hopefully somewhat respectful and don't attack people on this. Again, you guys can say whatever you want. I mean, the only time you've seen me get triggered is when somebody's like literally lying about stuff about me, and then I'm like, okay, well now I have to set the record straight. But if you want to criticize me and it's legit, then fair, right? All's fair in love and war. All right, guys, that's all I have for you guys in this video. I will catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.